So if you're at home and you are intimidated by liquid liner, try this hack and practice it and you will look like a pro. I promise you, it's not that difficult. And it just gives you such a great, clean, amazing wing liner. It's awesome. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to share 2 amazing eyeliner hacks. So just an FYI, we just finished filming my morning skincare prep video, which is why I have no makeup on and my skin's probably really shiny right now. So if you want to check out that video, I'm going to link it right here. And before I get into these eyeliner hacks, don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. So this first technique is one of my signature ways of creating a cat eye. So like I said, you'll probably recognize this technique. I've done it multiple times on my channel and on Instagram. So I'm going to start with just a dark brown eyeliner. So starting with my pencil, I'm going to start to trace what would be my wing liner. And so here's what's going to be the beauty of this technique is you can get in there and you don't have to be precise. You really don't have to worry too much about how you're placing your eyeliner. Like you want to get it in relatively the spot that you need it in, obviously, but you don't have to worry about it being like too turned down. For example, like on this eye, I went way too far down. I'm not going to worry about it because the way I'm going to clean it up and shape it is going to change that. So grabbing a smudger brush, I use this one all the time. This is one of my favorites. It's from Zoeva. It's a 226 smudger brush. I'll be taking this and I'll be blending out that pencil eyeliner. I'm going to start on the outer corner of my eye, like the tail of it, trying to look straight ahead. So again, you don't have to have a ton of skill for this eyeliner look, I promise you. I'm just taking that smudger brush and I'm just smudging that eyeliner just out. Just going back and forth. Nothing crazy. Super basic. I'm resting my pinky, you'll notice, on my cheek just for stability. And that allows me to have, more of a stable hand and really get in there and go just straight out. So it's going to look crazy right now. But bear with me. So now I'm going to take that same brush. I'm going to dip into this dark brown eyeshadow from the Elcie minimalist palette. This is a great everyday palette. I use this all the time too. So same brush, I'm just going to blend this matte dark brown shadow directly on top of that eyeliner that we smudged out. So again, I'm going to try to look, I'm going to switch my mirror to a smaller one where I can see a little bit better. Again, I'm not being super precise. I'm just taking that shadow and I'm just blending it directly on top of that eyeliner. This is going to do 2 things. This is going to diffuse that liner even more. It's going to soften it because it's, you're taking away like that sharpness of the pencil by diffusing it with a powder shadow. And it's also going to seal that pencil eyeliner so it stays in place all day. It's not going to run. It's not going to smudge. It's going to seal it and lock it down. So all over, just taking it all over where I have that pencil. This basically just gives it like a smoky eyeliner effect rather than a sharp, super precise eyeliner. Okay, so now comes the magic. Okay, so if you watched any of my other tutorials, you'll definitely recognize what I'm about to do. I'm going to take just some micellar water. Basically, it's eye makeup remover. Any eye makeup remover will do. And then I'm going to take a very pointed, thin Q-tip. So taking that sharp little Q-tip, I'm going to dip into my eye makeup remover. I'm gonna wipe off a little bit of the excess so it's not dripping. Okay, so for this part, you do want to be precise and you do want to pay attention to your technique and how you're doing this because this is what's going to shape and create your wing liner or your cat eye or whatever you're going for. So looking straight ahead into your mirror, like you don't want to be looking down because if you look down, you're gonna go too far up. And if you're looking up, you're not gonna go straight out, if that makes sense. You just want to look nice and straight ahead. So I'm turning my Q-tip and I'm going to lay it flat, like I'm going to drag it straight across. I'm not going to go in pointed like this because I'll get tug marks. I'm laying it flat because when I pull it, I'll get a nice smooth line when I'm pulling it across my eyeliner. So this is where technique definitely comes into play. Make sure you're holding it flat and you're going to drag it straight out. So unless you're going for like an Amy Winehouse type eyeliner, which, to each their own, I think that's beautiful too. we're not going for that look, which is why we're gonna clean up this area right here where it's really rounded and kind of messy. So taking my Q-tip, and, you know, don't feel like you have to do this in one swoop. It's okay if you need to go over it multiple times to fine tune it, depending on like how thick you want your wing to be. And you could always take that dry end as well and make sure that you don't have any eye makeup remover that's, you know, leaving your skin too wet, because that'll actually end up making your eyeliner run. So take that clean, dry end and just run it through that spot. Make sure it's not wet. Make sure there's no eye makeup remover residue that will make your makeup run. One more way you can clean this up is by taking just a small flat brush. This one again is from Zoeva. This is a 241 precision smudger brush. It's kind of like a little mini flat paintbrush, and it's great for detail work. I'm just gonna go directly under our wing and just clean it up even more. This is optional. It just depends on, you know, if you got it right the first time with the Q-tip, then great. If you didn't and you need a little extra help, this is another great technique to utilize. So I'm gonna take just a teeny bit of cream concealer. Any concealer will work as long as it's not too wet or too liquidy. So you wanna kind of stick to something that's a little more creamy, because if it's creamier, you're gonna have more control over where it goes. If it's too liquidy, you're not gonna have as much control, and you'll run the risk of getting your concealer on your eyeliner, which would defeat the whole purpose of this technique. So I'm just gonna dip in on one side, and I'm not gonna bring my brush straight in like this. I'm going to lay it flat. I'm gonna line it up to my eyeliner. And then the end, don't worry about the end because you're just gonna buff it out anyway. But just to give you an idea. And then you would just kind of drag it down. Let's say you wanted to make your eyeliner even thinner than what it is right now. I would use a different technique where I would take the brush, and instead of dragging it down, I would take it and I would shade it up and out. And then with my fingertip, since I don't have foundation on, I don't have to worry about like messing up the rest of my makeup. I'm just gonna blend out just gently the edges of that concealer so it's more seamless. But that is one of my all-time, if not favorite, eyeliner techniques. I do it all the time. I think it's so helpful. And once you practice it, you'll get the hang of it and you'll find it so easy, I promise. And it just makes such a huge difference. You will look like a pro doing your eyeliner if you try this technique. And my husband loves this technique. Okay, so this next technique is more of a hack. It's something that has been around for a really long time. It's a really old school makeup artist trick, but recently I saw one of my friends doing it on Instagram and it reminded me of what a great hack this is. So grab a piece of cardboard, a piece of like thicker paper, or in this case, you can grab, this is my business card. I'll be using my business card for this technique. Anything that's thick and a little more sturdy, but still like kind of movable will do the job. Same principle as I had earlier where, you know, you're applying your eyeliner and you're looking straight ahead. This is very important. You want to be looking straight ahead with your eyes open when you're placing your business card or piece of paper, whatever you're using that's like this. So I'm going to use my bottom lash line as a guide to where I'm going to place this. And the reason why is because let's say I start with like my top lash line, it'd be too high. So you want to kind of have it line up with your bottom lash line. With this technique, you can use a powder eyeshadow, you can use a pencil eyeshadow, You could use a liquid eyeliner, which is what I'm going to be using, or you could use a gel pot eyeliner. But none of those are going to look good if you don't have your placement down. So taking your card or whatever you're going to use, practice placement, and then once you feel like you have the right placement for your eye, then you go in with your product. And this eye, for me, if you've watched my other tutorials, this eye is like my problem child. It's hooded, it's not as cooperative as this eye, so this technique actually is going to be very helpful with trying to achieve a wing liner. So if you have hooded eyes on both eyes, this is a great technique to try out. Okay, so for this, I can't hold a small compact mirror and a business card and the eyeliner, so I had to just prop up my handheld mirror. But when you're doing this at home, you'd obviously be just looking straight ahead into your bathroom mirror or your vanity mirror, so you won't have to run into this issue. So I'm going to be looking down just a little bit because of this. So I'm going to just very gently press this into my skin. So there's really not going to be a gap between my eyelid and the business card, which is what you want, because I don't want there to be any room for this eyeliner to leak through where I don't want it to go. So I'm going to go in with a product that I think is really difficult for most people, including myself, to work with, and that's a liquid liner. This is a traditional black liquid liner. And the reason why I find these so much more difficult to use is because the consistency. They're very wet, for lack of a better way to put it. They're a wet, messy formula. You don't have a lot of control because they're so liquidy. Once they hit your skin, they spread out. And so you don't have a ton of control. Like if you're using a cream, creams are thicker. They don't spread out unless you're actually spreading them out. So they're a lot easier to work with. So I wanted to show this technique with what I consider the most difficult liner possible. Okay, so moment of truth. I can't promise it's going to be perfect because I was looking down a little bit, like I mentioned, but let's see. Not bad. It's nice and it's straight. You can see that business card kept it from going too far down, and I angled it pretty well. I mean, it matches up decently. This is a whole different look in itself because it's brown and it's shadow and pencil, and this is black and it's liquid, but you get the idea. And with liquid liners, I think this is just, like I said earlier, this is just such a cool technique to utilize when you're applying a liquid liner, which could be so difficult to get this kind of look. Like even I struggle as a professional makeup artist to get this kind of clean effect while using a liquid black eyeliner. So if you're at home and you are intimidated by liquid liner, try this hack and practice it and you will look like a pro. I promise you, it's not that difficult. And it just gives you such a great, clean, amazing wing liner. It's awesome. So now that I'm happy with my overall shape, I'm just gonna go in, I'm gonna fine tune just a little bit, minus the business card. You can see like I got a little, my eyelash got the liquid liner and it kind of flicked the product right here, so I'll clean that up later. But I'm just going to take that little Q-tip again, just get this guy. And then also just to touch on this technique one more time, you could use that small flat shading brush and a little teeny bit of concealer. Just to take away some of the redness. And then you're finished. Okay, so those are 2 eyeliner hacks. This one, again, is just my all-time favorite. I consider it one of my signature ways of doing eyeliner, especially for a cat eye effect. You see me do it all the time on Instagram and YouTube. I love this technique. It never fails me. The more you do it, I promise you, you'll become so confident and comfortable with this technique. Try it out. If you do, tag me. I would love to see your finished product. And then with this hack, this is not something that I do all the time. Like I said earlier, it's a really old school makeup trick, but you saw the effect. It definitely did its job, and it made it super easy to apply that really liquidy eyeliner, and it made it go on so much easier and more carefree. I didn't have to worry about being super precise because the business card did all the work for me, essentially. So anyway, I hope you guys like this video. I hope you found it fun and useful. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram. I'm at Makeup by Nikki LaRose. And if you like this tutorial, give it a big thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.